there are lots of unanswered questions. Who's going where? What teams? Who do they want? Luckily, we got Mike T here. He can make the case. You know, in addition to Mike T being our GM, he's also a lawyer. So he's going to make the case for some following takes. We got Neek. We got Kevin.
I'm ready.
Whether or not they want to, he's got the gavel.
I got props
as well. Oh, look, Neek has got he's got his own gavel. Fake or not, he's got his own gavel. Mallet. I love it. I love it. Okay, Mike T, start with your case one, your first case.
The meter is running. I am on the clock. Here we go with my billable hours. Number one, the New York Giants should select either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, who's ever there, and then acquire a second first-round pick and draft a quarterback. And somebody like Jackson Dart of Ole Miss, guys, is going to be there. And if you're the Giants, you get one of the best players in the draft. You still need to solidify the quarterback position, and someone like Jackson Dart would be a great second pick.
When do I get to bang this? Now, okay, object. I object. I was waiting for that the whole time. This is a really bad plan. There's a couple of things that are wrong with it. Number one is in this draft. Ward is one, Sanders is another. I agree with the first part of this about the top 3 picks, maybe an Abdul Carter, maybe a Travis Hunter. That part is sound, but to reach here and go with someone like a Dart, who I wasn't impressed with, like a Tyler Shuck, who was going to be 26 in September. Jalen Milroe has one of the worst catchable ball rates in the entire draft. There is not a deep class here. Don't do this if you're the Giants.
Wow.
Objection.
Besides all that, I thought it was pretty good. Mike T.
Sustained? Do I say sustained? Right. I don't even know what the terminology. You're the lawyer.
I'm overruling the objection.
Let's get to case 2.
All right. Despite what Mr. Clark just said, number 2, 4 quarterbacks will go in the first round. We talked about Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart, and I believe Tyler Shugg out of Louisville, despite his age at 25 years old, will be the 4th quarterback taken. And I think this class is a little bit underrated. We heard what Kevin's concerns are, but I think those 4 quarterbacks will go in the first round, and I believe all 4 will turn out to be good NFL starters.
Neek, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I object. I think that a lot of those quarterbacks will go in the first round. Moving on to him saying that he thinks they're all going to be good NFL starters. When has that ever happened? Like, I mean, even we go back to the '83 draft, where we think is one of the best quarterback drafts in history. Quite a few of those quarterbacks were not turned out to not be very good. Like, it's never really happened that we have all the quarterbacks drafted turn out to be good. We often reach for quarterbacks because they're so valuable, and many quarterbacks go in the first round for reasons that are because the team is desperate, not because the player is all that great.
Although, Neek, I got to say, 6 were in the top 12 last year, and I mean, it's early, obviously, but I think the initial signs are actually pretty encouraging for that group.
Okay, let's make your third case then, Mike T.
All right.
You got one example, man. One example.
Last year. All right. Number 3, a team should trade into the top 10 for Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to be a good NFL quarterback. I keep comparing him to Kirk Cousins, who's had a really good career. And I think part of managing the draft process, guys, is be opportunistic. This guy is tough. He's been sacked 94 times over 2 years. He's only missed 1 game, led the nation in accuracy. I know a lot of the balls were short, but when you're tough, smart, and accurate, you can win a lot of games with a player like that.
Neek, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I object. I think that like a team like the Raiders in that situation should be looking to get a running back like Genty, or the Bears get a running back like Genty. I think anybody in that situation, if they have an opportunity to get a running back that seems almost untackleable, that's the guy you go with, and you don't mess around with trying to trade your way back in or out or be tricky in that situation.
I'm keeping my gavel in my holster. I'm not objecting to this. You are right, Mike Tannenbaum. Shedeur Sanders can play. Ashton Genty is too high for the top 10. I'm not doing it. Mike T's right on this one.
You know, you talked about Shedeur Sanders. By the way, Shedeur Sanders was in Pittsburgh yesterday for a visit with the Steelers. And he also got on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams to talk about his visit with Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. Take a listen.
Just how he is as a person, you know, just the values that the team has, and where he preaches from his staff down is similar to like my dad.
Okay, if you were to give yourself like a grade on how it went, because it's kind of like a job interview, right? You want to make sure you like it, they like you. What grade would you give yourself?
It was a 10. It was a 10.
So he said the visit.
Yeah.
When has anyone said that their job interview?
Yeah, I was going to say, who comes out of a job interview saying, I don't know, like a 3, I'm not sure.
So what is the visit what the Steelers tell you?
First of all, the Steelers don't mess around on their visits. They're not going to waste a plane ticket here on a visit like this unless they were serious. They did not go to Boulder, their top brass, to scout Shedeur Sanders at the Pro Day. That tells me the market has changed. Now, what has changed within that? First of all, maybe Shedeur Sanders is sliding to either their pick in the bottom half of the first round or to a feasible spot where they could trade up 4 or 5 spots and they don't have to sell the farm. The other option is that maybe they think either Aaron Rodgers isn't coming or that they want to hustle Aaron Rodgers' decision up and say, hey, if you don't sign here soon, we might take a quarterback, we might take the first round pick we could have used to help you. That's going towards a quarterback. It's changing the entire dynamic here. The Steelers are serious.
Yeah, I say a little bit differently, Kevin. I like it for both. And here's what I mean by that.
Okay.
Go get Aaron Rodgers. Look, your owner came out at the league meetings and basically said he's going to be a Steeler. Let's take them at their word, but let's win for today, develop for tomorrow. What do good organizations do? They're opportunistic. I think this was a really smart visit. And again, I had it in my mock draft, but if Shedeur Sanders gets to 10, I think the Bears have had a great offseason. They have attacked their needs. When you do that, guys, it gives you draft day flexibility. The Bears are more than one player away. Look for them at 10 to come back out of there and somebody to come up like the Steelers and get someone like Shedeur Sanders. And my gosh, like if you're the Steelers and you come out of this offseason with DK Metcalf, Aaron Rodgers, and Shedeur Sanders, tip of the cap. That defense may not be elite. It's still really good. You have a Hall of Fame coach. You win for today with Aaron Rodgers, and now you have Shedeur sitting in the wings. I think that's an ideal result.
Your Honor, no objection here.
Yeah, I love that. Nick, your thoughts, because the Steelers picked there at 21. Should they trade up maybe in the top 10 to go get Shedeur Sanders?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bit of a cop-out, but it always depends on what it costs to do so. I think that position is obviously the most important in the league, and they haven't had it figured out since Ben Roethlisberger. So throwing more resources at answering that question, I think, is a smart one, particularly if you don't have to, be tied to the rookie quarterback in the first season. So, again, we're all assuming Aaron Rodgers is going to be there. Adding Shedeur Sanders, giving you a year or two to see if he's the answer while he's at practice and training camp. And then you can decide when you're back up in the draft in a few years whether you have your quarterback in your building or you want to keep throwing resources at that problem until you solve it, because they won't be a championship organization again until they have an answer at that position.
You know, every year our NFL insider Jeremy Fowler speaks with NFL executives, and he just wrote something on ESPN.com about one of those execs talking about Shedeur Sanders. I want you guys to take a look at this, and this is what that executive who wanted to remain anonymous said about Shedeur Sanders. If it was me, I couldn't do that, talking about moving up in the top 10 to go get him. Not a great athlete, not big, not strong, undisciplined game, comes with scrutiny. Is he going to be good enough, is what he said. Maybe Teddy Bridgewater, a fringe starter who makes good decisions, does some good things, but won't get you over the top, is what this executive said about him. I guess